Hello, 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 everybody. I'm just going to check on this audio real quick. Make sure everything's everything. And oops. Well, can't do it that way, right? Let's try it this way. And doop, and doop. Oh, and still kind of being silly, but that's fine. All right, let's try it that way, and boom. All right, I'm checking out the live stream. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Hello, 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 everybody. How are you guys doing? I'm so happy to be here, guys. Happy to see all of you guys here. We got Patty, we got Deborah, we got Kat, we got Heather. How are you guys doing tonight? Hello, hello. It's wonderful to see you guys. Tonight's going to be an exciting night. It is the Q&A. And it is one of the best parts of the month for you guys who love getting those questions answered. We have a lot of questions tonight, and doing it like this at the end of the month and setting the date at the beginning of the month is really helped people who haven't been able to get the questions out to get the questions out. So that's what we're going to do. And I was told by our good friend William, who's been helping us out, that he hasn't been getting the links to here. Good, Deborah. I'm glad to hear that too. So he's been telling me that he hasn't been getting the Patreon links in his email. I don't know what's going on with Patreon lately. Unfortunately, it's nothing I can do to kind of directly mess with that. But one thing I can do is let you guys know that every month between 9 and 10 o'clock, most likely between 9:30 and 10, until Jeremy's back in school full time and all that stuff, we are definitely going to be doing the 15th for the polls for like at the first of the month or right after the end of the month, 31st or 1st. We're going to set up the ideas for the polls, and after we get enough ideas to vote on, we'll put that poll up right away at the beginning of the month. You guys will vote on that, and then boom, you guys will have the opportunity to rock and roll on the votes and have all your votes tallied and the channeling in by the 15th of every month. And on the 30th of every month, minus February, which will be the 28th, we will be doing this Q&A at the end of every time. So this is what it's about, guys. Everything's good. Everything's perfect. Kalina is across the room saying hello, but she's not yelling it out because baby's sleeping. Which means baby might join us at a later time. You might hear her as Kalina goes back and forth. There might be a little pause in the thing too. But as you guys know, Kalina has not been able to join us every time. That's why William's been helping us out so much. So big shout out to William too for all the help that you've done and any help that you might do us in the future. We appreciate everything, brother. Kalina's happy to be back. She's really missed you guys too, just like I've been missing you. Even though I'm here every month, I don't get a chance to chat and exchange with everybody the same way I like to and I'm used to. So we've got that 15th and the 30th every month, no matter what, we're going to be doing that. And if we don't, for any given reason, we will always give as much heads up as possible, but I don't foresee any of that happening. So we're just going to call it the 15th and the 30th each month. So, oh yes, and I need to send you the link to the watch so you can watch the chat too, sweetie. Sorry about that. Yeah, of course. You do whatever you need to, baby.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Kalina was wanting to know if anyone was here, was able to hear her.
I just don't know if I ran at this level, if you guys are going to be able to hear.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the chat quite yet.
Yeah, I don't have a link.
So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to send this to Kalina, and then I will be able to send that out. Okay. All right, sweetie. That's sent out to you right now. Yeah. Can you guys hear her? Okay, so you heard Kalina very well. Okay, perfect. They heard you from there. Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's real impressive. Good microphone. All right, guys. So yeah, that's happening. Also, we wanted to let you guys know, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, which is the 1st and the 2nd, we are having our 2-day workshops. It is Extraterrestrial Vision 2020. It's about 2020. It's about the energies that have been rough for people, how that energy clears, how to deal with the energy, how to interact with the energy, how to interact with everyone, how to connect with your guides. It's going to be basically an amazing thing. All of you guys are going to be a part of that for free because you're a part of Patreon. And that's going to be 100% excellent with everybody. So if you guys can give me 1 second, I need to attend to something here really, really quickly. It won't take long, but I'm going to just step off for 1 sec. I'll be right back. All right, guys, sorry about that. All right, so everybody is back. All right, did we have anybody new jumping in? Oh, there's a very, very pretty lady named Kalina Angell. Hello, Kalina Angell. Nice to see you. Hopefully one day.
You're talking to that woman again?
Yeah, I'm talking to her again. Hopefully one day I can meet you in person. I think your picture is very pretty. So.
Yeah, I guess she's okay.
Yeah.
Crazy though.
Yeah, she talks to aliens, I hear.
Her baby's really purple though.
Hello, Heather. Hello. All right, guys. So that's it. I mean, that's what we're doing, guys. Q&A's here. Kalina's got the questions. And like I said,
I've got the questions. Already have got the answers.
That's it. So if anybody is just come in or you're not on, oh yeah, I forgot that part too. Hello, and welcome, and thank you guys for coming tonight. We're going to get to the questions here pretty soon. Secondly, anyone who says anything in this live chat, and even if they type in a period right in the chat and don't have anything to say, they will be added in for the opportunity to get 3 written questions at the end of this question time answered by Treb or Aridif, your choice, and it will be a really amazing thing. So if you're here tonight and you are not in chat, please join the chat. That will be really great so that we can have you guys thrown into that drawing for the 3 free questions. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Anything I'm forgetting, sweetie?
Oh, sorry. I was just putting my
No, you're good.
email address in case whoever wins, so they know where to send it.
That's perfect.
So.
As you guys might see in the chat, for those of you who are seeing the chat, Kalina's throwing her email in there.
Hey, Casey.
For everybody. Hello, Casey. Hi. How are you? All right. Hey.
This is a good house tonight.
I know. It actually helps when you give everybody a few weeks heads up, right?
You guys know You guys know too that the workshop on the 1st and 2nd, you guys get to 1st and 2nd of February, you get to attend for free, right?
Yeah, they know that. I told them that tonight, and I told them on Patreon. Finn Castle Underground, our buddy William's here. Hey, brother. Welcome, welcome. And like I said earlier, guys, William did say that he's not getting the notifications sometimes for Patreon. So what we can do that might be really helpful for you guys is when you go into Patreon, there is a place in the settings where you can go to your notifications. So I'm going to try to walk through it and see if I'm able to be helpful to you guys about this. Let me see. And maybe be able to actually direct you the direct way. Let me see. I'm going to check this real quick. All right, let's try this way. All right.
While you're doing that, I wanted to mention real quick, if Lily wakes up, I'm like preparing her milk and stuff. I'm going to get up and finish that just in case she wakes up.
Yeah, so Kalina will do that while we're neutralizing.
Right before you neutralize, or after you. No, during.
Yeah, during is good too.
But anyway, what I wanted to say about that is if we have to pause and get her out and take like a little 5-minute breather, we'll add those 5 minutes back on and want you guys to think. Yeah, she's pretty quick about getting settled. She can sound sometimes a little dramatic. She's a very vocal baby. And, she's the queen. And once
that she is.
Nice.
Cheaty. Where's sweetie? Sorry, go ahead, sweetie.
Oh, it's okay. You guys get the gist of it. I just didn't want you to think that you were getting cheated every time.
No kidding. You can't go in Lily's little bed. All right, so.
We've got projects out here. She's getting older, so we're getting all the older baby gear.
Yeah, we're getting the cribs out instead of the, whatchamacallit? Bassinet, thank you.
She was in a bassinet forever. Now it is time to have a crib and drop it down.
Yes, it is. So I want to also let you guys know, if you're not getting your email notifications, go to your Patreon, and this is only if you're on a PC, because I'm not sure if it's the same. I know it's not the same on cell, like Android, but I don't know if it's the same on Mac or what. But if you go to Patreon, the main page, patreon.com, on the top right picture, there's a picture of your icon. If you didn't manually change the picture, then it's probably just the first letter of your name or the first letter of your first and last name. After that, you click it, and so 1, 2, 3, 4 down, my profile settings, you'll click that. Once you click that, it goes up to 3 tabs on the top. It says my user profile, apps, and email notifications. You'll go over to email notifications, which is the one furthest on the right, announcements and resources. So if you have all of them clicked, which I do believe is pretty standard, then it'll work. And if you're going and a patron to someone, then there'll be that person's name there, which would say the ET Whisperer Patreon portal, and then under there it says paid content, post with Patreon lens, post with any other content when they send you a message, when new merch benefits are added, updates and reminders about eligibility for merch by Patreon. And basically, if you check all of those, anytime we do anything here, you guys will get an email saying, hey, this is what's going on. But if you just want to put in paid content, post other content, sends you a message, I think those 3 themselves should actually be perfect. So please feel free to do that, guys. If you're not getting your notifications, make sure, for whatever reason, the default setting might have got switched up or something. Just go there and do that, and you'll be on your way. All right, sweetie. Anything else? What else could we think of? missing anything specifically?
No, I just love you guys. I think this is better. We're going to continue to improve on things, including like, although I think your shadow behind you looks pretty cool. We're going to be getting a lighting kit too soon, guys.
Yeah.
The lighting kit we used to have kind of went kaput, so now we're in the process of getting.
Yeah, and bad lighting is always rough anyway. Like this right here, this little brow line that here, for whatever reason on camera, it always looks like I've got two big lumps on my forehead. Yeah, and in real life, those aren't really that drastic or dramatic. It's always the lighting that makes those weird. And
well, everybody gets that. If you put light in certain areas on anyone, you're gonna have. Yeah,
it just looks real weird because.
It just is kind of funny because everybody's working with that light and shadow theme right now, and it's got like this light and shadow going on, which is gonna be fun for like this whole theme that we're doing for February 1st and 2nd. Kind of has that embedded in it.
Yep, it's weird how that plays out, but everything's always in perfect timing. And as weird as that looks, I mean, you guys.
Do you ever feel like this, like certain things that we're wanting to like have express itself in 2012 is about to happen in 2020? I don't mean like spaceships landing or anything like that, although that would be cool. But I feel like there's just some kind of resolution of some sort, something that we had an angst in wanting to accomplish when 2012 came, and it's kind of about to come to fruition. I mean, that's the feeling I get. For me, like there's something I've been holding off on, and it's finally gonna come to fruition in 2020 and beyond.
That's it. I think you nailed that one on the head too. That's why I think that workshop theme too is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Our last workshop in Asheville, North Carolina in 2018 was also very beautiful, and that integrated, actually it was called Integrating Light and Shadows, which was a real rich theme too. So let's get to it, guys.
Anything you guys want to share? Now, I'm going to be getting stuff around for baby so that when and if she wakes up, she's teething very heavily. Last night, we actually saw the top of her first tooth finally come in. Yeah,
finally got past the skin.
She's 3 months old, but finally, she's got multiple teeth, I think, coming in at one time. So she was very drooly and stuff. So.
It was beautiful. And thank you, Deborah, for that too. I also really love the Asheville events. I think those are actually my favorite because it gives a small core group of people. Love the channel panel, love all the other channelers, love spending time with them. Yeah. Both of them are. The Asheville workshop and channel panel will both be back this year. Lots of stuff's coming back this year. That's the thing I forgot to tell you guys. There is a good chance that there will be a video on YouTube tomorrow, which will be the first in a long line that we're going to want to do to really put our energy towards putting weekly content or bi-weekly content out. And they're going to be focused videos. I know some of you guys can sit down and you watch the 2-hour videos and you love it, but newer people who don't have the patience to go through something that they're not sure about would be something that would benefit from a video that's 10 minutes about one subject or 5 minutes about one subject. So we're going to start putting more of those out too, which I really think will be great. So keep your eyes out for that. We're hoping to have that done by tomorrow. Yes, Patty, it was amazing. I think one of the best times was the channeling in our hotel room that we did with you guys. That was so powerful and so amazing. I remember everybody was in tears by the end of it, and we were all in a gigantic group hug, and it was just great stuff. So
I was laying on the bed, very, very tired, unknowingly pregnant.
Yes, not knowing why you were so tired.
Rub oils on the bottom of my feet.
Yes,
it was awesome.
It was great.
I can't wait till we can all do Asheville again. But we should get crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah, guys. We got started so late. It's already like 20 minutes till 11 at night over here, and we've got an early morning to start with. So we're gonna mute down. We're gonna cover up the camera. We're going to go ahead and get ready to do the rock and roll thing, and rock and roll. If anyone comes into, because Kalina is going to be dealing with the stuff for the baby for when the baby gets up, if any of you can drop an amazing comment down like, hey, they'll be back in a minute, that'd be great. I know most people already know that we're here, so it won't be a big deal. And I would also ask any of you who feel excited, hey, Tarak, how are you? Nice to have you here. So any of you who might feel excited to like the video. I know that sounds corny, and I hate asking people to do that. Like the video, that would be great, because even though it's unlisted, it still has the biorhythms that get picked up by YouTube, and we've been having some issues with our content getting pushed down further and further in our channeling community, and you used to type in the word channeling and we'd be on the first page at least once, if not more. And now,
in all fairness, we've been spotty though.
Yeah, and we haven't been uploading content and stuff, but the likes help it. All that stuff helps, but the likes are also a pretty good part of it. So if you guys feel like doing that, do it. If you think it's too much effort, that's fine too. Not a big deal, but if it excites you, please feel free to do that. And that's it, guys. We're off, man. 5 to 7 minutes, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. We will be back, and we're going to jump into the Q&A, guys. Love you guys so much, and we'll talk in just a couple minutes. All right, everybody. We're going to ready and rock and roll. Just a reminder to everybody, and I don't need my headphones anymore. Just a reminder to everybody that as you're asking these questions, these personal questions, whatever energy you're asking from is where Aridif or Treb will look, and they're going to give you back from their own perspective the energy. And I tell you all that so you can remember to enjoy yourselves. Have a good time, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Love you, and remember too, if you guys haven't been in the chat yet, and you're here, but you haven't said anything in the chat, and you want to put your name in for the 3 questions at the end drawing, make sure you put it down. Anything you want in the chat, even if it's just a hello, hi, how you doing, anything. All right, guys. Thank you, Kalina. It's nice to have you back, baby, again. Love you very much. And if a burglar's not awake by the time you get going in the questions too, you can always
explain to the new people why you said.
Oh yes, burglar's the nickname of our baby. For those of you guys who didn't know,
She stole our hearts. So
yes, she stole our hearts. That's a great thing. But if you want, you can get closer to the mic. I know they can hear you from there. So if you're comfortable there, that's fine. Just, for the recording, I don't know how well it'll translate. Anyway, I'm going to take a drink of water, and we're going to rock and roll, guys. Everybody can hear me correctly and well, right? Can you unmute the TV for a second, just so we can hear, sweetie?
Sure.
Sorry?
Can you unmute the TV
for
a second, just so we can hear, sweetie?
That's perfect.
Loud and clear. You guys can still hear me nicely?
Hello, Cindy. How are you? Can everyone hear Kalina when she asked if you could hear her? Oh, I was going to say, all right. Was everyone able to hear that? I know there's a delay, so I know it's about 5 to 10 seconds after I ask you guys will actually hear it. Gotta love a live stream that way, right?
Sorry, Jeannie, I can't give you chocolate.
All right. Was there? Well, I'm sure you guys heard me.
Okay, thanks, William.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. Perfect. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you for being with our Patreon group, our crew, our portal crew. And remember, too, guys, if you want updates and you're not getting them in the email from Patreon, join our Facebook group. It's called ET Whisper Patreon Portal Friends Group, and it's not a page. You don't just get forced to look at only what we post. You guys can post your own stuff there. You can communicate with other people who are members of the group, and it's really good stuff. So if you want, join that, and we will add you.
I'm just reminding Aridif as he comes in to have baby voice on since he hits the mic.
Yeah.
We
Aridif's
have a joke. We tease him for being so loud. He's very loud.
Yeah, we say little alien big mouth.
I think it's funny because they don't actually make sound in their real everyday living, So he's like getting the most out of it.
He gets every bit of that, doesn't he?
Fancy British accent and all.
Yes, he does. All right, guys, I'm gonna take another drink. We're gonna rock and we're gonna roll.
Sorry for having food in my mouth. When you're a first-time mom, you gotta eat when you can. And of course, I chose chocolate, organic chocolate. It's so good.
Yeah, it is the good stuff over there.
We're very spoiled. We live next to it. Organic.
We live within just a couple blocks of the Earth Fair store, which is really great. A lot of organic, natural foods and good quality products. A bit expensive, some of them, but the quality is well worth it. Yeah. All right, Chini. Dad loves you, sweetie, but you can't be under my feet, and you definitely can't be by the camera. Come on. Come on, kitty. There you go. Thank you. Go see Mom. Can you call her over, sweetie? She's getting a little crazy. There you go. Thank you. All right, guys, let's do it.
I just fed her too to keep it calm.
Oh yeah.
She wanted to eat the chocolate, of course. chocolate.
cheating wants, cheating gets, except for chocolate. All right, guys. Love you. See you on the other side. See you, baby. Thank you again.
I love you, baby. Thank you.
I love
Can't
you.
do it without you.
I hear that.
Can't do it without you guys.
Can't do it without you guys. That's an absolute fact.
We
All right.
can't do it without Treb and Aridif.
That's true also.
It's not hard to ask them questions if they're not telling.
We thank you too, our alien buddies. All right, guys. Love you. See you on the other side.
Have fun keeping it with baby.
Will do. Greeting to all, this is Aridif, and as ARIDIF, in this is its sped. We understand that all of you have queries for this evening, but before diving into those queries, there are 4 things in which we wish to express. The first, above and beyond all things, express within this day to know, to feel, and to perceive that you are loved. In our perspective, is of the utmost importance. Secondly, it is our greatest excitement, and within that same great excitement in which we co-create with each and every one of you, both individually and collectively, Thirdly, we wish to express the construct within our own excitement in the co-creation, and specifically headed towards the entity Kalina. Greetings.
Greetings, dear Aridif. Thank you for being here, you and Treb, with us tonight. We love you very much, and you are loved too.
Yes, of course. Not only are you loved, but we love you as well. Fourthly, we wish to express that as your new year has come to that first 12th portion, almost upon its end, we wish to express to all of you, happy new lunar, excited year, or the solar, excited year for all of you, regardless of which period or which consideration of year that you desire to appear within your belief systems, albeit the solar version or lunar. The cycle is started and the cycle has begun greatly for all of you. We will take your queries at your leisure.
Thank you, Aridif.
Yes, of course.
Let's start out with Lambros, who says, would any given human's consciousness evolution process be accelerated by lying on a ley line or living on a ley line intersection point? If so, by how much?
Yes, of course. This is pendant upon multiple variables. First, and most important within all variables, if you are a grid-working entity. All humans are grid workers to the degree in which they co-create energetic field of receiving both earth and etheric energy, and then processing and expelling said energy back into the earth and back into the ley line system. Therefore, all of you technically are that in which are called grid workers. But in our own verbiage specifically, grid workers are the one entity type or archetype that works specifically with the energy amplification of what normal human consideration, process, and systems are. And the energy within is approximately 10 times to 10-fold the energy of one human, not in what personally they receive or personally what they are giving, but the wattage, the ampage, the energetic field of that energy going in and out of the earth and in and out of the ley lines themselves. For those entities who are, in our own verbiage, the grid workers, those entities, of course, will have a greater experience by working in that energy of the grid system, mostly upon either the first layer of lines, the largest lines, the ones that incorporate the greatest parts of energy from one quadrant of the planet to another, and those that work specifically with the energetic co-creation and desire to implement the energy of the grid for their benefit. Secondly, as you work upon intersected lines, whether it be first, second, or third layers of lines, meaning the first largest, the second largest, or the third, any place where crossovers occur to be within a region of approximately 20-mile radius is, of course, better for you to utilize the energy and manifest with that energy. Now, when we express to use that energy, all of you use energy, all of you receive and give that energy. But what we mean by those in our own verbiage who work with grids as grid workers, we mean that taking the excess energy that is not being utilized by yourself and lending it to yourself, taking it all upon your own energetic system and utilizing it for the benefits of your desired outcomes. For example, as many humans desire to manifest financial abundance, to manifest protection against those entities that they perceive negative, they will call upon Treb Bor Yit NE's energy or my own and ask for us to help them. We do not interfere in that way, but we do give you our love. And as we've expressed many times, many different entities, taking that version and energy of love and taking it into yourself, upon yourself, and into the manifestation, you can therefore use that energy, manifest greater, manifest more quickly and more directly. Secondly, those who are not grid workers can benefit in degree in which they are always working with the vibrational spectrum of energy that they desire, more so than not in intersecting all major lines. Now, living in the points where lines do not intersect but come together in the major line system, those are called the chakras of the earth collective consciousness. Those who live in those regions are not only saturated by the ley lines themselves, but the earth component energy as well. And whatever chakra it is, that specific vibration in their own chakras and the specific vibration in form of the evolutionary formats of the soul will then utilize that energy and manifest even more greatly. We thank you for this.
Thank you, Aridif.
Yes, of course.
So Esteen has a question for you and says, my wife Amber isn't a very quote-unquote spiritual person, but is open to many things and would like to know something about her true self that may help her along. Is there anything you feel her guides would be attempting to communicate to her? We love you.
Yes, of course. Not only are you loved, but we love you as well. Your guides work with you at the same capacity in which your higher fractal consciousness works with you. The energy that we ourselves would share from our own perspective is similar to what your guides would express, but we will give it to you in our own terms, then share a guide perspective. First, as all of you are aware, living in your now moment, living in that moment without expectations in how the next moment will appear, and not any form of your excitements being focused upon with conditions. That energy of being the greatest you in yourself in that moment without resistance, hesitation, or expectations is vitally important. Utilizing your passion as your flaming light through the dark, knowing that this will guide you in all directions in which you need to be directed from your higher fractal perspective and from your overall perspective. That energy will always take you into the correct components of your experience that are desired and that are most beneficial to you. Noticing your excitement is also a vitally important part of that energy. As we've expressed, all excitements are valid, all excitements can be followed, and even those that are seemingly infinitesimal comparatively are important to focus upon, to perceive, and most of all to act upon. Without your action, there are no ways to cement your desire, your energy, and your co-creative measures into the physical experiences. Now, from the guide perspective, all of the things that we have shared, this guide does resonate with, and the Pleaidian counterpart that you would call Tubak-E is working with your energy in multiple times at an etheric format and with sound vibrations oriented towards the growing of your third eye, crown chakra, throat chakra, and working to implement a great deal of your heart into the rest of your chakra systems as well. What this entity expresses is working with the vital energy of sharing what is within your heart in verbal and also energetic ways, to use your throat chakra at the greatest capacity and part of the closing of all humans' throat chakra, and also specifically with yourself as well. The energy of the throat chakra holds resistance from your own judgments upon wisdom. Wisdom is the central component and energetic means of the chakra that is your throat chakra region. So working with sharing your truth verbally, sharing your truth energetically, sharing your truth vibrationally, and doing so without judging other forms of wisdom, yet again, vitally important from the perspective of your guide. We thank you for this.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yes, of course.
Our next question comes from George. And George says, as lower fracture self has free will, how much can it influence the higher self theme and oversoul theme of experience on Earth? And can lower self radically change the course of its life path or extend the whole theme experience of soul group souls?
Yes, of course, the lower fractal consciousness is what is within the driver's seat of all experience. Let us give you an example, as sharing stories in this way is often useful for humans to understand an overall perspective. Let us say that one soul in lower fractal form is an entity who desires to have many things experienced in their experience. The higher fractal consciousness desires for this entity to work within its own spiritual growth and evolution, knowing that it is a theme of the oversoul and theme of soul families and groups. Yet the lower fractal does desire to grow, just not in a spiritual way. It desires to grow in the most earthly components available. It desires to have great amount of sexuality. It desires to have a great amount of those things that most humans in a spiritual condition would call mundane, boring, or day-to-day exclusive only energy. This entity desires to have larger televisions to watch shows upon, desires to have grand cars to drive so that everyone is able to look at them and to perceive them. That is growth for the lower fractal consciousness, just not growth in the overall theme. So what does that do to the oversoul energy, to the higher fractal energy, and more so to the soul collective or soul family and group? What it does is send a signal vibration that the theme at desire, the major component of theme, is not being looked upon in that moment by the fractal. The overall energy of growing, expanding is there, only from that very different perspective. So in that way, there's still success as the oversoul, as the higher fractal, and as all soul groups truly desire only one thing. It is not spiritual growth. It is not being healer. It is not being a public figure or speaker. It is truly and simply only the energy of experience for the benefit of experience itself. All things as mundane as finding a sports car to impress members of the opposite or same sex for sexual encounters, all the way to rooting for your favorite football team. That is a grand experience. It is a great experience, and it is the perfect experience for the entity of our said example. With that energy, that person grows to be more of what they truly feel they are, to be more truly what the lower fractal is. And in that co-creation, all of the oversoul, the soul families, and the higher fractal rejoice in the knowing and growing of the fractal consciousness. We thank you for this. Yes, of course.
Our next question is for Treb. So, and it's from Bruce.
Yes, one moment. We will connect.
You there, Treb?
Good evening, Kalina.
Good evening, Treb.
Yes, I am very excited to be with you in this evening.
We're excited to have you too.
Yes, I know that you have many questions and many ideas to share. You may begin whenever you are ready.
Thank you, Treb.
Yes, and thank you as well.
Welcome. So Bruce has a question. It's more like a theme, so they're related. So I'm going to go ahead and read it all because I actually think this is important for us to know. So Bruce says, are we living in a computer program? We need to know the truth. Every answer regarding prime source energy, the grid, etc. is vague at its best. It feels like an upgrade to religion. Is this just another way to keep us from the real truth? I think we can handle it.
Yes, many humans who did not wish to hear certain things, even as early in your time period, that is 2000 2011 and 2010. We did not share as deeply as we could in that moment because of the Earth Energy Collective asking us not to share certain ideas, certain things that cause fear, or certain things that cause disruption, and we still not do speak to the fears that are most violent for humans, that can give high forms of imbalance. But what we can share with you is the computer program energy is not the same as you would perceive a projection of consciousness. It is very similar as it is an artificial constructed energy that is not a true energy. And what we mean by this is a soul energy at a non-physical level is very powerful and very condensed if you look at an energy or physical variation of that. And that energy is much more powerful than all the stars that are in our galaxy, that are in all of the black holes in the galaxy, and all other bodies.
Sorry, I have to get Lily, I think. I'll be right back.
Yes, we will continue and wait for you when we are done. So all of that energy is very large and condensed, but a non-physical soul with one soul energy of a planetary consciousness or a solar system consciousness has much more energy in their non-physical body than the entire galaxy has in physical energy. This is a very large difference and very imbalanced difference from that energy. And because non-physical energy is not perceivable in the physical universe, it does not translate as well into that energy. So physical reality is a projection. The consciousness that has all of that great power places a desire, and then from the internal parts of that energy pushes out a physical manifesting of the same energies of what we see in our own galaxy as well. So this energy does not mean that physical energy is fake. It does not mean that the physical energies are not real, because you are able to touch your arms and hands and faces and feel that energy, then it is very real. The mind is able to perceive that energy in a very realistic and tangible way, so that is very real. And the energy that is visceral, living, of your daily experience also is very real as well. So regardless if you feel it is a computer program or is a projection of energy from non-physical consciousness to physical, both things would indicate that the universe is fake, but in our energy it only shows and proves that it is more real, as it has the components of realistic nature and physicality as well.
So, Treb, I have a question for you.
Yes!
You had mentioned, like, you share information based on what the collective is comfortable with. Would you be willing to, if I kind of interviewed you and Aridif for like the deeper information, and we gave recordings to people who specifically asked for it, asked them not to share it around? They would have to like kind of really give a sort of, it would be like a little secretive. You know what I'm saying? Would you feel comfortable doing that for people who really want to get a deeper answer? Or do you still feel like it would leak out and disrupt too much?
Yes, if you're excited to work in that way, then of course we are very excited to work in that way. But in Aridif's experience and in his own sharing with humans, he already is expressing that full energy of content, or although sometimes he is sharing at a level that expresses less details. This is not because he does not believe that you are ready for it. He does not even process that judgment because he perceives you as his own equal. And the same with my own self, as I do perceive all of you as equal. But I am still a bit more cautious about the fears of other humans, but will share all of the information. The reason we bring the ideas of 2009 and 10 and 11 is that in that moment I would share a minimal force of things that could cause great fear, but in this moment I am able and willing to share much more clearly. Although that thought that perhaps I am censoring my own self comes into your mind, it is not a censoring in the way that humans perceive censoring. What it is only being mindful in the way that I share my information and reflections, so it does not cause great imbalance or great exchange of fears as well. I still will share the details with you, just as I have for this query as well.
Okay, leave it at that for now, but I'm still gonna dig at you guys.
Yes, and we are very excited for you to dig.
Okay. Alright, thank you, Trevi.
Yes, thank you as well.
I see that there's more questions for you, but I have to take them in the order that I draw them, so we will be talking to you again soon.
Yes, I am very excited to speak to you again as well.
Love you, Trevi. See you in a bit.
Yes, I love you as well. One moment, please. We are back without hesitation or delay yet again. This is Aridif.
Welcome back, did you do?
Yes, of course. Greetings.
Greetings. So, this one comes from Elizabeth, and she says, some time ago I had a psychic reading similar to Edward Casey's style, and according to that reading during the Dark Ages, in the time of the Inquisition, I was an executioner. Yes, this contributes to my health problems in this life. I'm not complaining, I'm a very responsible person, so if this is karma, so be it. Can you please look on that incarnation and let me know the connection with the present life? Thank you.
Yes, first of all, the energy of assumption that karma is a part of energy that takes from one life and shares with another is misunderstood greatly by the majority of humans who use the verbiage of karma. For example, one moment, Rob's nose is caused an itching. The energy that relates to karma as humans perceive is either in this lifetime I have done something that creates or co-creates another energy that is equal to or greater to rebalance the imbalance that is caused within the lower fractal's actions. And yes, of course, this is in some way true, but not in a direct way. What happens as you perform negative and positive expressions of yourself in one life or in multiple lifetimes is that you call out to the universe in a matter of co-creation. Most of you say that a law of attraction is an idea that has faults in some forms and is also very fluid in others. What we can share with you is that the law of attraction is the most basic format of understanding the nature in which the universe creates. In the universal collective consciousness, in all galactic collective consciousnesses, all solar system and planetary collective consciousnesses, all of those energies are extraordinarily similar to the perspective of one oversoul. The only true desire is experience. There are no judgments about that experience. So when you send out an energy of executing other humans, although perhaps it feels better for the majority of humans to perceive it is a wrong action in which I need to have punishment formed What the true fact is, the universe does not care. You are an infinite soul playing a role as a human being, playing that you are one variety of a person. And if you desire to play executioner, then another soul will take the place of that in which is being executed, and does not hold a vibrational energy pendant upon your exchange of choices. What we mean by this is, if you are executing others and there's no guilt, no hesitation, your beliefs are truly in alignment with you are giving justice to those persons, that you are paying a debt from crimes in which they have committed upon others, or even just because you felt killing other humans is fun. The soul does not see it as negative, nor does it see it as positive. It only sees as an experience. And with that experience, there are no karmic debts to pay. But if you were killing human beings and felt horrible inside of your solar plexus and horrible inside of your heart chakra, first or second chakra, that energy would be sharing and sending out to the universe in its co-creation that I am ashamed to have murdered, which is an imbalanced form of that murder, of that action. Therefore, you would receive negative experiences in that lifetime alone. Your manifestations would either not work at all or would work in different ways. Most of you understand the concept behind the crooked genie. And this means that when you ask for an energy, you will get that back into your receiving, perhaps as asking one question, receiving an answer, but the answer is always related to either a trick or highly conditional for that to occur. For example, I wish that I was a millionaire, and then you are in an environment where everyone you know dies and their life policies fail. In that moment, you would rather have the form of your family and friends instead of that money. So in that way, the universe gives you back what you desire, but does so in a very imbalanced manner. If your excitement and belief are that those deserve, you will only receive back balance with your exchange, universal energy. In this lifetime, it does relate to your experience of this incarnation, but not through negative karmic acts. The negative karmic behavior in any given exchange is created when there's imbalance within a co-creation, or if there are beliefs that are unbalancing the form of co-creation. So in this exchange, yes, the commonality is finding the depths of other human beings. In this incarnation, you look at other human beings psychologically and dig deeply into their thought process, into their lifestyles, into the way in which they experience themselves, and it fascinates you. That energy relates exactly to that other incarnation, as the extraordinary excitement about understanding human beings was very important. Yes, you murdered multiple entities, but always did so with your mind and thought process related to the constructs of why these beings would commit such heinous crimes and then give them that punishment accordingly. In that way, that is all that links you. There is imbalance that goes within the third chakra and in the first chakra. This is from childhood traumas in this lifetime and also childhood traumas in previous as an executioner. So all of those lifetimes that you perceive that feel negative are in fact very aligned with yours, but you are showing the positive version of that lifetime. Your expectations are being removed by that energy. If you were to say, I am a perfect match with the executioner except for my love of life, for my desire for no life to be removed or taken prematurely, you are the different sides of the same coin in that creation. So in that way, what we suggest, if you desire to remove more of that energy, as the energy was attracted to you from your similarities, it does bleed energy into your auric field. To segregate that energy or separate it from yourself, what must be done is the acknowledgement that this lifetime was a negative one from your perspective in your life and experience, but in that life it was perfectly fine for the fractal that once you were. As it is already behind you, nothing you are able to do can exchange that energy. But what you can do is understand that all of those who are executed, the kings and regional energies that were responsible for giving the orders of the deaths and torture of these human beings, all of you co-created from a soul level, saying, yes, we will all help each other create an experience that is perfect unless all of us grow. Be grateful for that experience. The tide to your health is twofold in this experience. Some is in your own creation, in creating imbalances within certain mental components and certain beliefs as you are younger. And as you go older, you release some of them, of course, yes, but releasing all of them at one time is extraordinarily difficult for the majority of humans. Therefore, forgive yourself. Let yourself feel that acknowledgement that, yes, of course, you are connecting with the energy of that lifetime and your experience now. And acceptance helps clear the energy that directly relates to your emotional energy versus your physical health. The rest is contractual energy, things in which you desire to create upon a soul level, into your physical level, and the soul fractal agrees. In lower soul fractal, only agreeing upon the astral projected state and also before coming into the Earth collective. What human would raise their hand and willingly be sick? None. This is why it is not a conscious choice, although there are certain percentage of humans who do desire to be ill or to be sick, but we digress from this and we thank you for this.
Yeah, I just want to say, let go of that guilt and that grief. We've all taken turns playing the quote unquote bad guy. We've all murdered, we've all done things that would be considered very horrendous. So we all carry that, but we also have done beautiful, wonderful things. You as an executioner, this may have been assigned to you. You may have done it for the love of your family. So kind of tapping in and trying to even find the good out of that, as weird as that sounds, trying to feel what was good about you in that particular life, though it might be hard. So you're not just focusing on treating it as if this was a very flat character that you were. Even this person that you were as an executioner loved others, helped others, hugged others. So I just wanted to point that out. We've all been through the dark ages. They're called the dark ages for a reason. So I just wanted to point that out. That it's okay to let go of the grief and the guilt and forgive yourself if you want to feel better. And we send our love to you.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I don't think Casey's back. Her question was next, but I might wait. Oh wait, she's just back. Aha! Hey Casey, good timing. All right, so Casey says, on October 24th, 2019, through the early morning hours, a being or beings were here helping with a shift out of body. This one or they kept rolling me onto my back. Who was this here with me, and what can you tell me of them, including why are they here assisting in this way? Love, love, and more love you all.
Yes, of course. As you are looking at the entities who co-created with you, the energy is partially a projection of the higher fractal consciousness and partially the energetic co-creation of those that physically co-create with you. In the astral projected state, you work with the race that most humans understand and know as the Yahyel. the way that it was interpreted was quite different from the way that you experienced this. But this is your human mind taking an experience that is so drastically different from the ones in which we've experienced previously that it is not able to concisely calculate the energy that is co-created there. Therefore, it brings back the remnants of that energy and assembles it into the exact version of perspective and perception that you had in that moment. So although you saw only a partial mishmash, for lack of better terms, with distortion, the core essence of that energy was that you were visited and worked with. Your energies that are contained within your co-creation with your co-created collective energy. We thank you for this.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this next question is for Treb. And as Treb is coming in, I'm going to say this particular topic has been talked about a lot, but kind of a little bit way back when, not way back when, but just a heads up if you want to hear more about it, listen to the early radio shows, the Rob and George shows that Rob used to do with George Sprockus on the Enlightenment Evolution Network. So if you look that up on, gosh, I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Treb, what is the name of the radio show? Blog Talk Radio. Yeah, so on Blog Talk Radio, you'll be able to find it. If you can't find it, let us know. We'll be able to help you find where those are. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and read the question. So, Kat says, this question is for Treb about RH negative bloodlines. While research, and Treb, give us more info here. It's been a while, right? Way back when. So she says, it's about RH negative bloodlines. While researching the origin of RH negative blood, I have read that it is considered to be an anomaly. While there are many theories, no one is really sure how RH negative bloodlines originated. Can you clear up the mystery and talk about the subject? Thank you. It's a great pleasure to speak with you.
Yes, it is a great pleasure to speak to you as well. The energies of RH negative is quite a simple mystery and one that we have shared with other humans as well. If you are an RH negative entity, it means that the lineage inside of your family, your genetic father or genetic mother's side, was a side that, if you go back all of the way to the first DNA manipulations of human beings, was created with an Anunnaki being and a human being through sexual interaction. And the components of energies that relate to the sexual energy that is created between human and Anunnaki always give offsprings that are different in genetic coding. Just as humans reproducing, each child you have is slightly to very different, and the reason is that only parts of your energy from your DNA as a father or mother comes out singularly and is available to that child only. And as you go in that energy and share, you have a child that is different and a child that appears, acts, behaves different from the next. But with the DNA manipulation that occurs with the entities that did not have sexual energy and only genetically modified through surgical or technical or technological ways, it is a much different process and then resulted in a much less version of that exchanging energies and child differences. For all of those that had genetic exchanges were all given the same formula of Anunnaki DNA, and that means that if a man and woman human both were given that energy, their kids would have a very short distance between differences. One human child could be within 10% of a likeness to their sibling, whereas you look at the Rh negative and the entities that were sexually connected, a sibling to other sibling could have as much as 33.33% differences from their own sibling genetically. And that has to do greatly with the same energy that sexual reproduction has higher spectrums of energy, but simple DNA manipulation, technologically or surgically, has much less. We know that Kalina has gone to visit Lilith for one moment, so we will bring Aridif back in to share some energy as well. One moment, please. Well, back without hesitation or delay it against the object. One moment. Yes, we wish to express that as all of you are waiting for the queries to come back into rotation, we will share a bit with you about the manipulation of DNA within the Anunnaki versus human sexual connection. Of course, Treb Bor Yit NE is correct, as he expresses that sexuality is what caused Rh negative, and the manipulation of DNA technologically perform that without Rh negative. But the sharing and energy behind that is stories that most humans have found in their alternative biblical text that is known as the Book of Enoch. And what we can share with you is the Book of Enoch not only has insights about the Anunnaki as they co-created with humans and as they worked with their DNA, but also the sexual relationships between those that were Anunnaki and those that are human as well. We thank you for this.
Give me just a couple moments, guys.
Yes, of course. Greetings, Lilith.
She's says, "Hi, everybody." Don't mind me just getting my snack on.
Yes, of course.
She has teething pain real bad, so she wakes up sometimes. I like to give her some Tylenol. So let's see, I have to put down the time. Give me just a second, guys. Sorry. Whew. Oops. Almost messaged William instead. 11:43 Tylenol. Okay, here you go, baby. All right, so, you ready for the next question?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so the next question is from Adil, and Adil says, "Greetings, Aridif. Sending much love to you all who are listening tonight. I feel as though I have been connecting most strongly and consistently to one female guide for the past 8 to 9 months or so. If it's acceptable and of highest excitement to both of you and her, I would be most grateful to hear any messages she wishes to share with me, but channeling through you to speak to me directly. And if it's not appropriate this time, would you kindly share whatever you and she feels is appropriate for me to know, including details such as her name, background, any messages she may have for me. Thank you ever so much. You are deeply loved, and I love all of you."
Yes, of course. Not only are you loved, but we love you as well. And of course, we can share information, energy, and a message from the entity that is, of course, the female being that has been with you in your last 3/4 yearly mark. First of all, the entity that you perceive is co-creating with you as a feminine being. Your intuition was greatly in tune with your ability to perceive, to understand, but also to exchange with this entity. This entity, as you are aware, has no name in a telepathic society, but as humans desire to understand who or what another person is, they must know at very least the vibrational frequency of those beings. All of you do this with your strangers in your localized regions. Humans in which you had never met before. You associate them with their sex, or with their race, or with their energy of where they are locationally upon Earth. There are multiple of these that you do not perceive directly on purpose, and others that you do. So, with this construct, we will plain and simply express these ideas. One moment, we'll hydrate and continue. First, the name of the entity vibrationally, as it translates to sound vibrations that hold a quality, is Belial. And Belial is one entity that is deeply connected to your oversoul and works with multiple components of your previous incarnate selves and future incarnate selves. The entity works with your direct chakra energy as you are in sleep state and astral projected state. This entity hails from planetary consciousness that has no human formed name, but is in between the regions of sky in which you call Taurus and which you call Pleiades, and is approximately 11,000 light years from Earth in that co-creative way. Physically, their race brings multiple ships throughout the entire galactic collective consciousness, and in Earth's co-creation there's a dedicated team of 13 entities that work with the ship that comes in and out of Earth's atmosphere, but also works directly within the solar system collective consciousness, going throughout the entirety of the solar system, looking upon your other planets, looking upon your other planets' moons, etc. The entity, as it desires to create with you more, is mostly interested in human activity, human behavior, and human co-creation. In this time period that you understand as 20 and 20 for the years in your biblical terms, this entity has no exposure to a person in this time region. She has exposure to human beings from 1500s and previous, but not in this timeline, linearly speaking. So, as she desires to work with you and continue to work with you, you can understand that in your astral projected state you are able to physically exchange with her energy, but going back into your body will only allow the telepathic form of communication. So working with your astral projected state and sleep state is also important. She expresses that in your exchange with her, that she has grown greatly and desires for you to grow back with her and co-create again with her. So in that form, what she is suggesting and sharing is that you focus before sleeping, and as you enter your sleep state, to express the name that is Belial, and work with the construct energy of perceiving the entirety of your point of view or view of sight in your nighttime skies between the Pleiades and Taurus, and know that this is where her own race comes from. Also working with any formed meditation or channeling class that feels resonant to your own energy. There will be instructions upon some, and some that are silent. Work with the ones that are most resonant to your own energy, and ones that you feel will be most co-created with yourself and the entity that you've been working with. We thank you for this.
Thank you, and just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm trying to see the time. I think it says 11:49. Yeah. So to do the drawing, you want to go ahead and start getting your questions in to me, which is if you win for the 3, and at least your first one, so that you can write the next as you go along if you want to do it that way. But I just reposted my email address for any of you guys that want to go ahead and get that started. Okay, so our next question comes from Julian. And Julian says, I've always been lost to my being in this world, trying to understand how life on this planet came to be so upside down has been my endless addiction. I realize that the existing system framework of society is the source of humans' deviation from natural life. This rogue program is expressed by many humans to be how life is, and there's nothing that can be done. As a child, I would derive that the only likely solution to the human condition is imminent termination and restart. This world seems to be locked into combinations of delusional mental programs that are heavily identified with, and I am the lost oddball. I am clueless on how I am to tackle this Goliath. Maybe it would be easier trying to join the party.
Yes, of course. And we did not hear the specific query that was embedded within this construct.
Well, the last bit, I'm clueless on how I am to tackle this Goliath. Maybe it would be easier trying to join the party. I think the question is, first of all, it's on the theme. I think Julian probably wants you to comment on these thoughts, but how to tackle it, and if it's just easier to join what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Rather than beating his own drum. Does that make sense?
Yes, of
I
course.
kind of almost feel like it has a connection to who was it that asked it? What one second, I'm trying to see who said it. Bruce, when Bruce was asking Treb about the computer program, there's almost like a relation to just how we're expected to be a certain way. And those of us who are kind of awake to that whole like system that's put into place that we're born into. Does this make sense? I mean, think kind of the Matrix, when Neo woke up, so to speak, and he had the choice to take the red pill and the blue pill. I think he's asking, which pill he should take, or, Julian, are you there? Maybe you can clarify. I don't want to put words in your mouth for you. If you're watching, we'll wait a moment, and if you want to go ahead and start commenting, Aridif, you can. Is there any portion you need me to reread, or?
No, we are quite fine.
This is quite a human kind of.
Yes, we understand now more fully.
Too.
At the end wording, we did not know if it was part of what was being shared or the question itself. Now we understand quite well.
Yeah.
As you perceive the energy of all things in your life, not just specifically to being different than others, not specifically being told or desired to be a certain way, but in all simplistic forms of every part of your experience, inward and outward. The energy of being your truest self, the highest capacity, is the most important. Yes, there are treatments that will change with those around you, but a great deal of others' reactions to your changes are more so to do with your beliefs about how others will perceive you once those changes are occurring. For example, and we give this example not only as a metaphysical term, but as an actuality in a tangible experiential quality of human life. There is a person as you are driving down your road in a vehicle, and as they pass you, they have the greatest look of frustration upon their face. Instantly you feel harmed. You feel as if this person is just being rude to you for the benefit or sake of being rude. But what your own energy is not perceiving is that this person barely recognizes you or pays attention. This person goes through the death of a family member just mere months previous. The interpretation of how this entity interacted with you was also taken part of your own experience and self. So seeing a different way to point your beliefs towards how others will react when your energy does shift in great and collectively unusual ways is vitally important for this to have your greatest outcome to occur. As you perceive others, we express in all times there is a 5-person dynamic that is directly related with all experiences. Yourself and the other entity. Now, the other entity may be one person, but can also be the entire collective, the entire family of yours that perhaps sees you so differently, your ex-friends or ex-lovers, whatever the case is. That entity or multitude of entities may be placed as the second integer of our equation. The third integer, the version of this other person that you are co-creating with, that you perceive them to be. And again, the fourth entity is the version of you that this person or persons perceives. This allows a full-way dynamic just in that moment. And what occurs, just in our example, if you cannot perceive the entity upon the level in which they are coming from, then there will be an imbalance in how you perceive that person. Once true energy of sharing is occurring within your own heart and theirs, knowing that what they are sharing is what they truly are, not placing your expectations from previous exchanges, not placing your own interpretive design upon the person due to your belief systems previously, you will perceive the most pure form of that being, and vice versa if they are letting go of past interactions with you, if they are letting go of certain energies involved with creation with you. All of those experiences can drastically change the energy in which they perceive you and you perceive them. First, it must take you perceiving them in clear light for them to be able to have the experience of matching the vibration, of exchanging from that level of how you perceive them, instead of them reacting to the way that you are projected upon them. Now, we're not saying that being different is your fault, or actions and how others interact with you is also your fault, but you are your creator. And in your creation, knowing that the way that others perceive and interact with you in a way that does not always feel a positive nature is partially your own perspective about them. And if it is not, then it is something within your belief system that express that those who do not resonate with me will continuously perhaps commit fun towards me, or making fun of me in that way, or causing hardships in conversations. So already a part of your energy that projects something into them co-creates for that experience. In that exchange, there is also a fifth entity. That is the co-created version of yourself and society in this case. And in that way, you're only seeing society through the lens of your beliefs previously. And once you allow yourself to drop that energy, you'll start noticing less and less of those that are disharmonious with you, that are lacking resonance capacity with your energy, and the other components of energy are only relations to your own energy. And as you lessen your own beliefs about others not resonating with you, you will less the times in which they can interact with you as well. We thank you for this. Yes, of course.
Okay, so we're going to take a couple more questions, and then you guys might want to start getting your 3 questions ready for whoever is drawing, or at least send me the first question, and then you can send me. So Savita has a question for Treb.
Yes, one moment. Greetings, Kalina.
Greetings again, Treb.
Yes, it is very exciting yet again to see you again as well.
I also feel the same way, Treb.
Yes.
Sorry I had to run out on you last time, but I had a sweet little baby girl to attend to.
We know that when the entity that you call Lilith calls that you have to connect with that entity
Absolutely.
and appreciate the co-creation that we saw within your own energy was well worth your running away to go get to her.
Thank you.
Yes.
I figured out I didn't want to be interrupted too much. So dear Savita has a question for you, and
Yes.
she wanted me to convey how much she misses you. And she says, in the midst of all the magic happening in my life, my sciatic pain is back very strongly. I don't know what it's trying to tell me, and I don't know if I'm holding any resistance or what. Can you please talk about it and suggest how I can get healthy and active again? Thank you for always helping me. I love you so much.
Yes. Greetings to you as well. As you know, I do not miss you in that way because I am always with you and I always see you and feel you. I still understand what you mean by the missing. I do look at the energy that is related to nerve problems, and what this is certain feelings of your first chakra being very difficult to deal with. You have had a very busy and hectic energy in your life. You have had others who love you and who you love very dearly, having issues that cause you to feel worried about their safety, about the outcomes of their experience, life, and also safety. And when that first chakra started becoming a bit more imbalanced, it connected with the heart chakra as well, and also became a bit imbalanced as well. You're not having problems loving. In fact, this is one of your strongest of strong abilities. It is the energy more that is about yourself, connecting with as much of the version of reality as you can that lets go of the fear of those that you love very dearly, knowing that they are going to make their own way in life, and that although great forms and times around their life is still coming, that you are able to trust the energy and how they create with you as well. So ridding yourselves of the fear about your loved ones and concern and relaxing after hectic scheduling, the energy can be reversed very easily.
Keep trimming.
Yes.
I was also thinking about how, like, a lot of times the energies are embedded in the sayings that we say. So I want to say to Savita, ask yourself who or what is getting on your nerves. And that can help also. You know what I mean, Treb?
Yes.
Have these sayings that can be very revealing to what's going on. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yes.
So when somebody says, this thing is getting on my nerves, or you're getting on my last nerve, those sayings like that, it's funny how we do that.
Yes, and the energy behind the wording is often what magicians are able to use in their own energy of sharing. So that shows you the power in words. And many times humans are not even aware that they are using limitation words. And with those limitations, creating more energies of stress or resistance or disconnection as well.
Yep, absolutely. Abracadabra, I create as I speak. Okay, so we have a question from Luca for you, Treb, but before I read it to you, I do want to say something because I know that Rob is able to communicate this to him. Lily has to have a diaper change. She just had a big poop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Luca's question, but William has helped us a lot, and he wasn't able to send a question till later. So I don't think anybody here will mind if we get William's question. So I figure while I'm changing Lily's diaper, I think the question is for Aridif. Have Aridif answer William's question so I can get back in time and give everybody a chance to send in their 3 questions that hasn't already. So for the drawing.
Yes.
Is that
And do you
okay?
wish for Aridif to look upon the screen for access to the questions?
You can. I want to read Lucas because I did go ahead and draw that, but it just occurred to me we should do right by William to do that because he really, what was it, 2 or 3 months worth he's been there. I think he deserves to have for sure his question asked. So I don't think Rob would mind.
Yes, the host does not mind as well.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead and read the last question for you, and then if you want Aridif to read William's question, I think that'd be fun for them to see him open his eyes and do that.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read Lucas' question to you, and I'm going to take Lily back, and if Aridif does it, that gives extra time. Because this girl had a big, big poop.
Yes.
All right. So Lucas said, "Dear Treb, please let me know if there's anything you wanted to say when I was doing or showing my channeling to Rob during our channeling class session." And he said the energy was so powerful for him that it started to induce him into the channeling state, and he felt you coming in.
Yes. The energy of that moment was very exciting for the host, which often reveals to my own connection that the host excitement is at a great peak, and that excitement is a calling card to my own energy. And as my energy approached more closely to the host and that energy, and in that moment, that the energy of my own perspective of your channeling and your connection and your own energy was very exciting for myself as well. So there was a two-part energy, one of the host excitement, secondly of mine, and my own energy has connected with yours before, and as that energy connected, it was always exciting to connect with your energy. And now that your own energy connects with yet another energy, and the host energy connects to both of those energies and my energy as well, then I am able to bring my energy to connect with the host energy that connects with yours, and the channeling energy as well. This is very exciting. We know that we will disconnect for the moment so that we are able to bring Aridif back for him to perceive and read the question that William has as well. We wish to express to all of you that we leave you all in love and light, and we will experience each other again very soon. Good night. Good night, Kalina. Good night, Lilith. We are back without hesitation or delay yet again. This is odd. For one moment, and we will read your query. We do not perceive the written format in which William has shared his query. We will give you time to continue writing your query, William, and once it is done, we will answer accordingly. Yes, of course, as you are going through the 3 stages, you are one that falls in mid-terms between the second and third wave, more so leaning towards the energy of those that are, oh, pardon us, we mean the first and second wave, and you are more so leaning within the form of the first wave. And the energetic understanding of yourself with yourself is high, brings you to a place of great understanding of oneself and your environment. Yet there are still forms of resistance within certain belief components, as they're all humans, and your journey has been long enough to be within that first energy, and some of that pain that occurs within your experience draws you back to that second wave. So in this way, in first and second quarter, you'll go back and forth within your experience, majoritively in the highest probabilities that if your energy goes through with great excitement, acting upon that excitement, working within your own understanding, then you will be able to work specifically in the first group of exchange. And as you continue to go through that energy, you will understand more and more about yourself. The waves that are spoken of in that are beyond intermediary into the form of well understood with yourself. And that energy and your own understanding is continuing to grow with the time that you invested in the self-growth within you, in the length of time that you have brought about great changes for yourself. Some parts of the waves that are in the co-created part of your 20 and 20 year will be much different and outside of the normal formed waves that we have expressed previously. We thank you for this. And as Kalina re-enters, we will take the 3 queries from the entity that has taken the poll winning. One moment. Yes, of course.
Okay, we're coming back.
Yes, we understand.
Sorry, it took a little long. I had to put her in a sleep sack because she was cold.
Yes, of course. There are no needs for apologies in your own compartment, as we understand. We resonate with your energetic field, and we know that as you exchange with the entity that you call Lilith, that there will be times in which you are not available for the co-creation at that moment alone. Also, we wish to express yet again, greetings, Lilith.
Hello, Lily. You guys see her getting all excited in the back?
Yes, of course, we were able to hear that energy.
Yeah, she's staring at you and Rob's body like, okay.
Greetings.
It's like my dad is having a visitor. All right, so, whew, sorry guys. So I was rushing around trying to change your diaper as fast as possible. Okay, so let me look, make sure I have everybody added. Nobody got added at the last, came in at the last minute. I want to make sure. Okay, I'm going to do the drawing now.
Yes, of course.
All right, drum roll, please. Or can you drum roll for me, or I couldn't make my tongue do it.
Yes, we understand. The sound replication is not one that is within our own understanding in which to work with Rob's own vocals.
Okay, I was trying to be silly. All right, so our winner tonight is Casey. Casey's on fire, man. She came in, like she had to go for a meditation on her channel, and I was like, okay, Casey's question got drawn next. I'm like, well, we'll wait for her, and then she literally right at that moment came back. I saw her on chat. She just returned. All right, so Casey. Oh, you have your questions already. Sweet. She's the first one. Let me send questions. Okay, so first question from Casey. Casey says, what can you tell me, if anything, about this most happening in the night recently relative to assistance I am receiving and work that is being done? I'm currently involved in a consciousness experiment I'm calling 365 Days of Dreams. I'm bringing back data with me into physical space every day. I do know there is currently a lot going on. What can you share with me about this?
Yes, of course, as you are going through your experiences with working your higher fractal consciousness with other guides, working with certain guides specifically, what you are doing is implementing more of your lower fractal consciousness with the higher fractal consciousness, integrating the parts that are most useful, interacting with the parts that are most expansive, and expanding the amount of consciousness that is held within your physical body. All of those energies relate simply to your expansion, more specifically your expansion in the way you perceive yourself, in the expansion, the way you interact with other entities. Thirdly, with your direct connection with other entities. And fourthly, the excitement and actions upon the excitement to work with them. We thank you for this.
Okay, so next question. I am aiming at a shift in my work from the care work more predominantly over to consciousness work. Please help me from your expanded perspective to see a potential pathway here. Is this pathway clear, or is more clearing still in order?
Yes, of course. As you are going through your own experiences with specific energy, clearing is important for you to continue working with. Yes, you have cleared the majority of energy surrounding this, but there's still more energy to deal with in the clearing setting. And this is not only true to you, it is true to every human who goes through any one given idea or multiple given ideas, as the clearing form of energy is the release of resistance. And as human beings, all of you have formed resistances. There's an old earth proverb that says each of us are born with sin. This is not true. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Each of humans are born with the construct of no sin. Therefore, you can redo your energy, your construct, and say, into none of us are born with sin, but all of us earn it eventually. Mm-hmm. As you continue to release that energy, you will find more and more available to you. We thank you for this.
Thank you, Aridif. Okay, so for the next one, you're going to need to open your eyes.
Yes.
And let's see if I can blow this picture up for you.
Yes. Once you are blowing up the picture, we will appear with Rob's eyes.
All right, can you see?
Yes, one moment.
This is in her crystal. And then when you're done, I'll read you the question.
Yes, we are able to see.
Okay, so as you're looking, who is the being who came through the crystal today? Please share with me what you can. What is most important?
Yes, first of all, this entity is a being that has co-created with you in multiple other formats previously. This entity works as a construct, energy, or an archetype physically that most humans call shape shifters. This entity has appeared within your crystals over 12 different times in 12 different shapes and forms. This entity is finally going around the very first corner of exchanging in a direct manner that is so direct and so important that it desires for you to have the query, to ask what it is you desire about the entity in this moment and find more energetic understandings. So, with that being expressed, there are no names that we can give this entity. There are no directions within your time space, and there are no places in which we can point out to and express that these entities exist from there, because just as they are chameleon-esque in their physical forms, so too are they in their energetic forms. So too are they so holy that each time the shape becomes shifted, so too does their identity, does their memory, so too does the individual formats of their own perspective in where they live within the universe and where they operate within the universe and in which they co-create. The one difference is that as this entity connects with you, it holds the central thread throughout its conscious awareness, higher fractal consciousness. This allows this entity to know the variety in which it has shapeshifted with you previously. All shapeshifters know what is happening as they are shifting and what happens in their physical bodies due to the plans in which they desire. But the movements that are going with the subconscious understandings often either dissipate or become dominant for some short time and revert back to subconscious understandings. At no time it overtakes their identity, and at no time it overwhelms their own true sense of self. In that way, find the energy of this entity in your heart and in your third eye after you connected it deeply to create the vibrational signature that is this entity. Then go back into your archives and compare it to 12 of those that do not have identity. Once you do this, you will start getting more and more access to more direct communication with this entity. We will share with you, if you go into this in a rushed fashion, then out of the energies that we have shared with you, you may get approximately 60% correct out of all of those that you would guess that this entity has been a part of. In 12 nature, approximately the 6 or 7 correct. But if you feel and open the heart chakra energy for the third eye, for them to co-create with, to amplify your psychic signature, you too will receive 8 of 12 or higher. We thank you for this. We also wish to express that it is our time for this evening to disconnect. But before disconnecting, we wish to express to all of you, as we are answering queries of yours that you perceive to have no answer or to have limited answer in your understanding, we are able to perceive the parts of you that we have yet to perceive. And because we are all one, it also allows us to perceive parts of ourselves that we have yet to perceive. In that way, as you grow, so too do we. We congratulate all of you for your growth, and we thank all of you for ours. Kalina and Lilith, also we express that not only are you loved, but we love you as well.
We love you too, Dippy Doo.
Yes,
very,
of course.
Very much. Lily is very, very curious listening to your voice through her dad's body.
Yes, of course.
She's staring at you.
Yes, it would be an amazing sight to perceive, of course. Highly unusual in the Earth Collective, especially for one who is not able to completely process the thought and what and how she is seeing what she is.
Yeah.
We wish to express to all of you. Yes, of course. And we wish to wish all of you adieu for this evening.
I do, Dippy Doo.
Adieu.
We love you, and we love you, Treb. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, of course.
Sharing your heart, your love, and your wisdom.
Yes, of course. And Treb Bor Yit NE expresses that he loves all of you, and he leaves all of you this evening in love and in light. We will bid you all adieu for this evening. You are loved. Adieu.
Welcome back, baby. Look, it's Daddy.
Hey, baby. Hey, little baby. You got up again. Hi.
I tried to put her glasses on, but she got mad. Sorry, guys. She doesn't like it when I try to put her glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the hiccup.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, that's it, man. We're gonna call it a night. We're gonna
You didn't want Lily to say hi?
Yeah, come on. You can bring her over.
You want her glasses on so they can see her super cute glasses.
I mean, if you want, yeah, just as long as it doesn't get her upset. So we're gonna get out the poll suggestion post in the next few days. Also, look out for a new YouTube video, and also join us the first and the second for our 2-day thing. We're gonna have Q&A on there too, so you guys might have a chance to ask Treb Bor Yit NE some questions related to the topic at hand.
You can show without the glasses.
Yeah. Let's do that for now.
I don't know if we told them about her eye thing.
I'm not sure.
Alrighty. Here comes Lily
Oh,
face.
hey, baby.
She needs a bath.
Look how big she's gotten, everybody.
Now, she's in a sleep sack, so I don't know, her foot's kind of pushing through there, isn't she?
Yeah, she's getting big. Look how big she is, everybody. Look how big she's gotten compared to the last time you guys have seen her.
See that cute, adorable
You can
face?
turn off this light here. This light's probably...
A little too bright for her.
Yeah. Oh,
Hang on,
you
I'm
get the
trying to reach
hiccups,
it.
baby. There we
Come
go.
up, pups. Okay.
There we go.
Let's show her super cute glasses. You're going to be up. You got to practice. These are going to help her to improve her vision.
Oh. Yeah, she's
sorry,
fighting
baby.
them. There we go.
Sorry, baby.
Get
I'll have
them back
diabetes.
down to her ears, yeah.
Sorry, baby.
Because they're pushing on her eyeballs.
This is something the doctor wants her to have as much as possible.
And look at burglar with glasses. Burglar in disguise.
Dirty
with glasses.
This helps her to see. She's actually technically legally blind. She has what's it called? Amblyopia. That's how things are pronounced. So she has, if you look closely, well, technically both of them, but this one in particular, she has a bit of a lazy eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so her eyesight's really bad. She sees fairly decently from afar compared to up close. But these glasses are going to help her brain because her brain will shut off the vision of one eye. She's not
completely,
to make sense of, because both her eyes, they're not fully moving together as I'm understanding. So they have a way to fix it, but it takes time. So she's got her glasses, and she's doing really great. Most babies, you have to patch them. So if we're lucky, she won't have to get the eye patches.
There you go, baby.
So we thought we'd share that with you guys.
Yeah.
So
that's a bit much to dangle her out in front of the camera as soon as I got back, but it was well worth it. When you see the video, you're gonna love it. Her face is so close to the camera. That's great.
She's so sweet. Doesn't she look cute though? I can't see the comments, but we just thought we'd share with you guys. She looks just so cute with and without. But we're working with her to wear the glasses several hours a day. It's kind of mean, I know, to like throw glasses on her when she woke up. She'll probably be up for another hour or two. So sorry,
absolutely.
Lily. But yeah, it helps her eyes. It helps them open up that part of her brain and see with both eyes. And then there's the doctor calls it a minor surgery. Was it really a minor surgery on a baby? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's gonna be good, guys. And she has a cousin who had the same thing, and you would never know. He doesn't even wear glasses anymore.
Sister's youngest son.
Yeah, he doesn't even wear glasses anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And he's good. He can see in 3D and everything.
Yep. So that's the thing I didn't tell you. She can only see in 2D right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But her eyes are doing better. The glasses are helping and everything.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep them up your bed, baby.
Oh. I just had a bad burp too. All right, guys. We think we'll end it with the beautiful burglar. And just remember, guys, to come see us on the first, second, same time between I think 9 and 9:30 maybe, or
See if I bite.
all right. Let's say
You help
goodbye.
Burper too.
All right, everybody. Lily saying goodbye. Good night. Should see y'all later.
Love you guys.
All right. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a great night, everybody, and thank you again for doing it. We'll have that poll ideas out in the next day or two. So get your ideas ready for what you want to see voted on, so that we can put it in the vote.
Yeah, 15th
and have people vote on it.
And don't forget, mark your calendars. Both February 1st.
I just mentioned that too. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's not a problem. Yeah.
Starts at 2 p.m. EST.
Yeah, and remember too, guys. 15th and 30th, like Kalina said, from now on every month, unless something happens, and we'll let you know ahead of time if that does. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks again for joining us tonight, everyone who joined us tonight. Love you guys. Good night.
Love you. Good night.